Good morning and welcome to my weekly love and gratitude series. I'm always grateful to share with you what I shared in French. As I keep moving through the final weeks of my personal transition, I'm grateful to share this message with you today. So let the voice carry the heart of what's meant to reach you and the essence behind the message meet you where you are with love, clarity, and presence. Today is what feels like continuation from the previous weeks. So we explore something every heart knows firsthand, emotion that hurts, the painful one, and how in higher consciousness that hurt is not wasted. It becomes alchemy, like a golden hidden inside fire. So we will explore the alchemy of emotion, transforming pain into wisdom through higher consciousness. The alchemy is the process of transformation of an element. And in spirituality, alchemy is the transformation done directly in higher consciousness, where there are no forms, no meanings, not even results. We know that our beliefs, the ones in our blueprint, generate thoughts. And from those thoughts, we feel things. So they generate emotions. Most often, we feel something and we go up that thread trying to figure out what we were thinking about and which belief we can change to stop this feeling in our present moment. This is not always easy when the ego is veiling the way, keeping you in the feeling stage of awareness. Of course, the ego doesn't want us to change a belief for the better, because that would make the ego lose its control over the feeling in you now. So let's look as if each emotion was something that can change from itself, like a cauldron. Yes, a cauldron. When you melt a metal cauldron, for example, it is no longer what it was, and it can become something else. So the metal element is still present, but something else can take form from it. So think of the emotion like that liquid metal, and it exists in you now with a form to be used for what you normally use it for. Just like we have many pots and pans in the kitchen, each with a purpose we assigned. We know which one to use and we know what will be the outcome. We also have assigned specific meanings and usage to our emotions. We already have a preset definition and usage for each one of them. So when life heats us, to keep the cauldron example, the raw element rises, whatever it is, anger, sadness, fear, jealousy, joy, and so on. And by default, it will come in the form we gave it. A normal survival reflex with the emotion is either to spill it out or shut it down. And we mostly see emotion for what they are, and we do not look at what they are showing us. But we cannot do that if the emotion is the cauldron itself. For example, you receive a bill from an unplanned situation before a paycheck. Panic might rush up and rise because your cauldron of panic contains unexpected expenses. So each emotion is like a container. It's the element with which the container was made. So this is why some people might feel an emotion and another person will not feel the same emotion for the same situation. Think of it as we all cook differently using different pots and pans for the same ingredient. This makes me think how some people might even use one big pan for everything. Let's call it anger. So no matter what happens, anger is the only one emotion that will be used. I think now you will not see your emotions the same way. So back to the example of panic. Instead of letting it rise or repress it, you breathe and you place a hand on your chest and you say, okay, I feel the fire within. That burning energy is the fire allowing the transformation to take place. Ask within, show me what it can become. And this is not a one-fit-all answer. It might come as a logical situation to stop the panic, like calling a company to make a payment arrangement, or as a creative idea, like, okay, I could do this and that to cover that amount. It's the same energy, but already in a higher form. This is mostly what we experience actually when we stop an emotion to grow. The emotion behind the panic is actually fear. Fear of not having enough or fear of the consequences. And guess what? The emotion behind each negative or conditional positive emotion is always the same one, fear. And fear can be transformed into love, always in consciousness or higher consciousness. It is where fear dissolves and love takes its place. Here are a few examples of how it can look like. So you might feel anxious to walk into a social event, afraid you will not fit in or know what to say. But when you pause and look at that fear with love, you will see that it is really a desire to connect and be seen for who you are. And from that place of awareness, you can now enter the room with an open heart, simply ready to share a smile. And you will notice that you are not afraid anymore to be yourself. Or you might be afraid to go to work in the morning, convinced that your colleagues will be mean to you. But if you meet that fear with compassion before you go, you may realize it's really a longing for meaningful relationships and space where your creativity is valued. And once you honor that longing, your energy shifts from fear to openness, and you will walk in not expecting conflict, but quietly inviting connection. And often, that's when the others begins to soften too. You might be afraid of failing at presenting a new offering to your clients. But when you look at that fear with love, you can see that it was never fear of failure. It was a deep desire to serve well. So the moment you honor that desire, the fears soften, melt, and clarity takes its place. That's alchemy through higher consciousness. It's very simple. Only the ego can make something simple complicated, remember. So reflect on this. When did a painful emotion transformed into a practical solution for you? And one that transmuted the pain into love? You don't have to know the answer right now, but allow yourself to see that you can already do this. The ego will always make us think that the burning fire of an emotion should not grow, but it can. And why? Because it is that burning fire within that makes us able to transform it. Just don't let the ego use it. The ego believes pain means danger. Higher self knows pain is information held inside passion, a passion to change. Neville Goddard reminds us in The Feeling is the Secret that the feeling is the secret. It is the door between two states. The door opens through feeling, not around it. We pass from the state of victim to the state of creator by letting the feeling speak its higher message. So the ego will show you the negative, distorted version of the message, and the higher self will show you the true one, the very clear one. So here are some ego-based examples. You are furious that a colleague took credit for your idea. The ego will want you to rush to confront, but you may burn the bridge between illusion and consciousness if you do that. Or the ego will make you freeze, hardening the resentment. So you freeze the bridge between illusion and consciousness. But if you sit with the fire you feel within, wisely, you might understand that this anger is simply your passion you hold to be fully seen. And when you are honest with yourself, you can address the issue with more clarity, not confronting, not accusing, just wanting your rightful place and saying it. Pain without memory of source, of divine mind, feels like punishment. Pain with remembrance becomes a process of freedom of the mind. Here are more examples of everyday life. A breakup splits your heart open. You can ask within, what does this crack allow the divine mind to plant through you? What loving desire is the seed that now has space to grow? Where is your heart cracked today? And what new seed or new song might be emerging from that space? Sometimes we might want to quiet our emotion because we don't have the time to deal with them in the present moment, to take care of them, to take the time. But they will come back, either stronger or in thoughts. We will always feel and have emotions. Maybe the goal is to learn how to use them wisely and not let the ego control them. People and situation will always trigger emotions. We must learn to transform the painful one into what they truly hold, which is found in love, as we saw in the few examples I gave you. High emotion is not bad at all. It is a bright light indicator that there is a powerful energy available, allowing the transformation to take place. So the more it burns, the more it can melt fast, the situation, the emotion. And this can only be done away from our ego-based mind, in consciousness with Christ within. Sometimes that fire starts small, like I feel stuck, but I'm learning. And sometimes when the ego takes control, it can grow into something like, I feel stuck. There's no way out. I cannot see any solution. There's no help, no matter what, no matter how much I tried. Then it gets back to something like, I'm feeling stuck. I don't know how to deal with this, but I know I'm learning. I know I'm not alone. It's unfolding in the unknown and the invisible. I believe that. Even if I cannot see it, I know I'm learning here. This is alchemy in real time. After the episode, I invite you to think of a strongest emotion in your body, a raw feeling you have and keep creeping up often. And ask yourself, what fear is it trying to mirror back to you? And what is the one thought that you could believe instead to shift that emotion, to change its value? So, allowing what love wants you to remember. And allow yourself to just feel the shift. What words of wisdom can you hear from within when you ask to change this strong emotion and see what it brought from love, with love? When you're done, be grateful for this self-awareness moment. Express it. Be grateful for the change and shift that is happening to seal this moment. It's like melting the metal, seeing it liquid and choosing to mold something else with it. You are changing its value in your mind at the same time. So when you will use it, it will be used differently. So today I wish you to leave with the knowing that pain is not your enemy. It is your apprentice, your assistant. Every heated emotion is raw material for the cauldron to be created, or for the new jewel of wisdom you came to shape. Hold it, honor it, and let higher consciousness finish the work. That's one thing we should never forget. We bring it forth, we let what will be transformed within to come out and serve instead of destroying us. I remember years ago when I was first hearing about alchemy, I did not know it was this simple to understand. And it is simply a transformation process of the matter, of the result, to become another result, using the same element. And in spirituality, we use the emotion of fear to become love. So we use an emotion to transform fear into love in our consciousness, which makes the thought change and the belief change in the blueprint. So the new belief will generate different thoughts with their emotions. And new beliefs are the spark of what we experience in our ego reality. And we just turn every shadow into a sign pointing to the teacher within. Ask each fear, what is it trying to protect or falsely protect me from? And ask what part from love is trying to emerge and be seen. Enjoy playing in consciousness. And remember that every transformation you seek is always done within yourself. Thank you again for joining me in this week's reflection. I invite you to take the time this week to sit with this in meditation. I hope you enjoy my Love and Gratitude series as much as I enjoy creating each episode and share it with you. Thank you for also sharing it with your friends and audience. We know that many people need to hear this. Always remember to breathe in, to let go of all your ego-based thoughts and vision, to see from your soul, and to love out. See you next week. If this reflection resonated with you and you feel called to continue your inner journey, I invite you to explore the e-guides I have created to support your path. And if this reflection has touched your heart, donations are always welcome as a thank you of gratitude. You will find all the links in the description. No matter how you choose to walk alongside this work, know that your presence and openness are always deeply appreciated.